Class is now in session with the professors. To talk with the professors, call 676-1340. That's 676-1340. And now, the Assistant Professor of Religion at McMurray University, Bill Libby, and the Vice President for Academic Affairs at McMurray University, Paul Fabrizio. Ladies and gentlemen, the professors.
And this is Professor Bill Libby on Thursday, September the 12th. And welcome to the show. I have with me as a guest today Mr. David Rimschel.
Hello,
David,
Bill.
it's good to have you here.
Thank you, Bill. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. Now, we are going to do an interview in just a moment with a gentleman from who's going to be in Fort Worth, and we're going to talk about a new theater piece that will be presented over there.
Okay.
Now, David, I expect you know the story, but you probably haven't heard the music.
No, I have not.
All right. And the story is, in fact, Esau and Jacob,
Okay.
brothers from the Bible. And the name of the show is A New Nation, and this is a premiere. Mr. Peterson, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good. Well, this is Professor Bill Libby and Mr. David Rimschel, and we will be talking with you about the show.
Okay, I'm glad to have your interest.
Yeah, thank you. Now, it's been described to me as an operatic work based on the story of Jacob and Esau.
That is correct.
And you are the director, but not the composer.
No, that's backwards. I am the composer, not the director.
Okay.
All right. Okay, how did you come to do something about a biblical story?
Well, one of the musicals I really liked a lot was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Okay.
and I was involved in that. I actually played the part of Joseph, and I did some musical direction with it, so it was something that I thought went very well, and everybody loved it. I wanted to do a prequel to that story, and I thought that this story had even some greater conflicts in it than even the Joseph story, because everyone in the family, Isaac, Rebekah, Esau, and Jacob, has a very strong will and passionately pursues their self-interest. And because of this, there's just so many great things about this story. We have the greatest, fraternal conflict in history. We have one of the most famous blessings in history when Isaac decides to bless Jacob, who is disguised as Esau. We have the greatest romance in the Bible, as Jacob was the only single man to kiss a single woman, Rachel, in the Bible. We have the greatest practical joke in the Bible when Laban switches Leah for Rachel.
But that's not a practical joke.
No, it's not a practical joke.
It's the father-in-law deceiving his son-in-law.
Yes, but he was trying to show that the younger doesn't supersede the older in this place.
And he is specific about that in the biblical text.
Right.
Okay, David, comment?
Well, I'd like to know. Really, I really like musicals, and just what idea were you going with this musical? What do you want people to think of when they are watching this musical, when they're listening to this music?
Well, I use the music in this story to really kind of enhance the story. Sometimes when you read it in the Bible, it you just kind of get this verse and this verse here. I'm really trying to use the music to highlight some of the parallelisms that happen in the story, and also to put the intensity of this drama into the story. So
Yes.
I've used a lot of very kind of dramatic, romantic music in this, and because I think it really fits this particular story very well.
Well, let me tell you that David knows the Old Testament, and I teach it. And just by chance, without even thinking about it, I had a pop quiz today, and one of the questions was, who is Jacob's brother?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Esau.
That's correct.
Well, now, how are you going to cover things like Esau and his 400 men coming out to meet Jacob when he comes home?
Well, that actually comes at the end. The New Nation, which is the title of this musical drama, it'll end with the reconciliation. And, of course, we can't put 400 people on the stage. So that's not going to work. But we do have a crowd of people that Esau takes with him, and they actually come together. So there's almost like this really slow march as Esau's group approaches Jacob's group at the very end, and there's a lot of suspense in this because we don't really know what Esau is going to do. He certainly can have indications that he's not going to be friendly with Jacob as he was before when he threatened to kill him.
Sure. Now, let me ask another question then, because there are other parts of this story from the Bible that have an impact. One of those is when Jacob meets the angel, the man, beside the river Jabbok, and they wrestle for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything like that happening?
Yes, we do. We have that actually precedes the final scene. So we have the scene with the angels when Jacob leaves Beersheba on the way to Haran, where he has the Jacob's ladder scene.
Yes.
And then on the way back from Haran, when he returns, we also have the wrestling with the angel scene, and it's kind of there's a lot of very significant things about that particular encounter. I think it prepares him very well spiritually for the encounter that he's going to have with Esau. And of course, he gets the name of Israel in that scene.
Yes, his name is changed at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is a very moving kind of story, but it does show family conflict at both its best and its worst.
Yes, it certainly does. Yes. There's a lot of favoritism, and that goes on. It's been going on, since time immemorial, and it still goes on today. And so that's one of the interesting, dynamics. And I've even in my own personal life, I've been kind of aware of, how favoritism plays out in families and some of the problems that it does cause.
It is definitely one of the most compelling features of theater over the few years that it's been going on. We just did All My Sons, and that was a huge part in that. And it seems really interesting how you incorporated that into this.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, I ask students in my classes how many of them will trade the most important thing in the world for them for a bowl of soup, as Esau does for Jacob when he says, "I'm so hungry I could die, and I'll eat a bowl of your lentil soup and give you my birthright."
Yeah, we have that scene also in our musical drama. And one of the things we want to show by that is that Esau's very short range in his thinking. Something, just happens to strike him, and he doesn't really think long term in the future about consequences, and that's a problem. When people have this mentality.
Yeah. Mr. Peterson, we need to take a commercial break real quick, and we'll come back with you in just a moment, if that's okay.
Oh, that's certainly fine.
All right. Yeah, and Mr. Peterson, this is Bill Libby speaking again, and I have a couple of questions to pursue with you.
Okay.
You are representing and working with and for the Benevolent Music Corporation, and I'm not familiar with that organization. Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, actually, it started out as a performing arts group. So we had a vocal ensemble and many of them were soloists, so we were able to do like musical theater and opera as well. And we also rehearsed. We also put on choral productions. So we had choral festivals at churches, and we invited several churches, and so it kind of started in that particular way. So it's a relatively new organization, so it just formed last year, and so it is a performing arts organization that is dedicated to presenting musical dramas that have a moral theme.
Okay. Now, is it Fort Worth centered?
Yes, I think it would be more centered in Fort Worth, but of course we're performing at the Paramount Theater in Abilene this weekend. This is where it's premiering.
Okay. Now, both David and I had a question about that. David?
I had passed by the Paramount and I saw your play advertised over the marquee, and I was wondering about that. Okay, okay.
Because we also got a note that you were going to do it on the September the 20th and 22nd in Fort Worth.
Yes. Yeah, so we're doing it this weekend in Abilene. We have 2 performances, Sunday evening and Monday evening. And then we also have 3 performances in Fort Worth. That's the following weekend. It would be the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd at the Scott Theater, which is in the Fort Worth Community Center.
Okay. Now, we don't have any information directly in front of us, but what will be the price of tickets here in Abilene at the Paramount?
Well, I have some good news to offer everyone. We had a grant, a $10,000 grant that was given to us, and this grant is going to make it possible to provide free admission for the first 1,000 patrons for each performance.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So
that's going to fill the Paramount.
The Paramount has 1,200 seats, so the only ones we're selling is the first 200 seats, the first 9 rows. Every other seat is free.
Wow. Well, David actually works in productions out at McMurray, directing on the stage, that sort of thing. David, have you worked at the Paramount before?
No, I haven't, but I've been to quite a few movies there, and I've been to my first play there this summer, actually, and it was just, it's a beautiful stage, and it's a beautiful auditorium, and I'd be really interested to see that.
Yeah, and I expect to be there myself. But let me ask you a question again.
Okay.
Is your background in Bible or in music?
Well, I have more training in music. I am currently teach at a Cypress College full-time in the music department, and so I have a master's degree in music.
And quick question, with this play, when you wrote it, was it a joint effort? The people of this company said, we would like to do this play, and chose you to write it, or was it your idea and you presented it to them, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I presented it to them.
Okay.
We already had we started out, I wrote the libretto as well.
Okay.
And I did get some help on that. I was collaborating with a professor at UCI, which is in Irvine, California, and we collaborated on the story. So I kind of gave a draft, and he gave several good ideas to help make it a great story.
All right.
So, and then after that, so the whole thing was, all the words were written first, and then this was a 5-year project. So, so then I started writing the melodies with just the piano part. And the last year, since we knew that they were interested in it, and we had a director and a conductor interested in it, that then I started doing the orchestration. So that was the last thing that was done this past year.
Now, will the people who are going to be on the stage, will any of them be local, or will they be coming from Fort Worth or New York or Irvine or where?
Well, first of all, they're professional singers. We have, I would say, amateurs as chorus and ensemble, but all the ones that are singing leading roles are professionals. We have probably half the cast that live in Abilene.
Okay.
We have professors at the various universities that teach voice or opera at Hardin-Simmons, as well as Abilene Christian. They will be participating in the opera. And then we have some professionals from the Fort Worth area as well. So it's a mix.
Yeah, a good mix. That's fantastic. And it will be presented Sunday and Monday, which is September the
15th and September 16th.
Yes. And what time of day?
It's in the evening. They're both at 8:30.
8:30. All right. And then, do you have a hope, Mr. Peterson, that the show will eventually spread around the U.S.?
Yes, that is our hope. We've already been having some interest in having the musical drama produced. I've been contacted by the artistic director with Opera Piccolo in San Antonio, and he is interested in doing the work. We may produce it again ourselves as well, so that's another option.
Yeah, given the cultural tradition of Texas and relationship to biblical studies, I would expect it would be of interest to a number of community theater programs.
Yes.
And that people will ask to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it, and let's run through that again.
Okay.
It is the story of Jacob and Esau.
That's correct.
And their family, Isaac and Rebekah.
That's right.
And then Jacob's wife or wives.
We have, Rachel and Leah.
Rachel
and their father, Laban.
And their father, Laban.
We're also including, and something the Bible doesn't really mention very much, but are Esau's wives. And we have Judas and Basemath. We know that Rebekah and Isaac were opposed to his involvement with him because they were not of the faith of Abraham.
That's right. They were Canaanite or locals in some way, yeah. So that's very awkward then, isn't it? When a child marries somebody that mom and dad don't agree to or approve of.
Yes, that is actually true. So we're going to be bringing that point out. And we kind of relate that also to Rebekah's motivation for kind of extra motivation to having her ask Jacob to deceive Isaac.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to ask you a tongue-in-cheek question.
Okay.
When we come to Jacob having one of his visions, does the audience get to sing "We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder"?
Well, we have some different music for that, actually. But I hope you'll be going out singing what I call it the Stairway to Heaven chorus.
Oh, the Stairway to Heaven. Okay, good. Yeah, because most of us in Texas grew up singing "We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder."
Yes, I know. I grew up with that too as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Peterson, we're coming to the end of our time with you, and I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
And again, Sunday evening at 8:30 and Monday evening at 8:30 at the Paramount Theater in downtown Abilene. And the first 1,000 seats each night are free.
That is correct.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I hope we have some students and local townspeople and musicians there to hear and to see it.
Yes, that's our hope.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.
And again, this is Professor Bill Libby and Mr. David Remchel, and we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the stock market and the weather.